Have you ever heard people say that all the good things we do are nothing but filthy rags in the sight of God? This is something I hear quite often within the church or when out talking to Christians. They're like, oh, everything we do, we can't stop sinning. All the things we do, they're nothing but filthy rags in the sight of God. And what they're actually doing is they're quoting a passage in Isaiah 64. And it's kind of just become something people say without really thinking where it's coming from. Because what they've done is they've taken just this random part out of Isaiah 64 and then just kind of decided that it applies to them without actually looking at the context of the passage. So let's take a look at that so that way we can have a proper understanding of Isaiah 64. So here's Isaiah 64, and the place they love to quote is down here in verse 6, which says, "But we are all as an unclean thing, all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away." So they'll love to quote this and say, look, everything we do is filthy rags. Everything we do, it's horrible in the sight of God. We're terrible. But if not actually look into context, because all the Christians love to apply verse 6 to themselves, so that way they can continue to sin. But they don't like applying the other verses around the passage. Like, for example, verse 7, "And there is none that calleth upon thy name, that stirreth up himself to take a hold of thee, for thou hast hid thy face from us, and hast consumed us because of our iniquities." So why aren't Christians applying verse 7 to themselves? Why aren't they saying that no Christian calls upon God's name, that God is hiding his face from every single Christian around the world because of their sins? Why aren't Christians applying that to themselves? Oh, because that would mean you're an enemy of God, and that you're not on God's side, and you can't still be in sin at the same time too. This passage is talking about God's judgment upon the people. And they're saying, we've become unclean, we've become wicked, we've become sinners, you've turned your face against us. This isn't talking about the Christian experience. So next time you hear this mention of all our righteousness is as filthy rags, this is not talking about Christianity. This is talking about a people who have turned against God, and God's wrath has come upon them.